Bop boop bop boop boop bop 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 bop. I'm not a scat man. Just pushing that button. And hey everybody, how's it going? How's your day going? How's your night going? How's everybody doing? So this is going to be a really, I don't want to say good practice run, but this is going to be a really valuable practice run. So I only got like 4 hours of sleep last night because like I went to bed and then 4 hours later my body's just like, screw you, wake up, because that happens sometimes. So given that the slot that we are going to be performing in is early morning. I believe it's 4:30 in the AM. Let me just, as always, double check that. Tuesday morning. It is currently at 3:23 a.m. Yeah, so 4:30 a.m. local time, Central Time. So, yeah. So, 4:23 in the morning. This will be a good practice. Doing the script while also being sleep deprived, at least a little bit, at least a tiny bit sleep deprived. Do I have? Oh, I don't. Let me turn a bunch of stuff on. Oh, there we go. We're getting. So that's a thing that we'll cross that bridge. But so this will be a good practice. So we have loud game noises, and try to get these balanced so that they're good mix. We'll try to get a good mix. So the script, we have the first draft. It is definitely very much still in draft shape, draft format. There is a bunch of it that is properly scripted, but a bunch of it is still point form. But we do have a thesis statement. We have a hierarchy of priorities. We have a substantial number of talking points, so it's now the process of going through and turning parts into actual words, or deciding if they need to be like scripted words or if they just work really well as point form, and timing everything out and getting it mapped to the performance as a whole. And really I forgot to open, just one sec. Load timer. Let's load our timer. Load. And let's go to aim speedrunning. And I just processed that. Okay, maybe. All right. Let me just rearrange some things real quick, because I just processed that I have conflicting needs at the moment in terms of my screen space. I mean that, or I just wait, what happened to? Oh, because that needs to be. Yeah. Oh. Huh. Huh. Wait. Huh. How am I gonna? Okay, let's... And, oh, there we go. There we go. I don't know if Vex still has. I haven't checked the times. I haven't checked the times, so those times might be out of date. Those times might be behind. I'm going to be leaving for... Ow, Amy! Ow, that hurt. And now she's just sitting there. She's just sitting there under my desk, like looking up at me. I look down at her and she's just sitting there looking at me like, what? 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 You're gonna do it again, aren't you? The moment I stop looking at you, you're gonna claw my leg again. You're just gonna be like, pay attention to me. So I'm gonna be leaving for... So I'm gonna be at GDQ Monday through Friday, so the 25th through the 29th. Arrive on Monday, leave on Friday. So I guess Monday and Friday are half days. Yeah. Starwin is now at 3742. 3742? You said 3742? Starwin. I could feel her going for my knee again. She's just sitting there and she refuses to move. I totally... Okay, Amy, you need to go somewhere else, because right now... Alright, there we go. You can just tell when she does it once, she does it twice, and then just sits there. Just sits there looking at you. Doesn't leave. You're like, it's like, oh, she's just waiting. She's waiting. She's lying in wait. All right. Okay, so Oh, in regards to the time, the disparity between my time and everybody else's time is one, I haven't had a clean run on stream with the timer in a while, and two is that Starwin and Vex have both moved over to the Xbox version, which basically that move right there cut 4 minutes out of the run just by virtue of loading faster. So that was a big thing. That was a big move. Was going to 360, going to the Xbox. Xbox loads faster. Yes. And yes, last week would have been a big improvement for me. Would have been under, it was under, I think it was under 43 actually, or it was right around 43. Yeah, 4 minutes is massive. But I'm not gonna switch because I don't have it on my 360, and my 360's... Yeah. Alright. We are rambling now. Now is a good time to actually go with this. So, Oh, before we start, hi H-Bomber guy in an airport right now. LOL. Hi. Hello. Hello, airport H-Bomb. Oh, Tau Alpha says it doesn't particularly matter, does it? For exhibition purposes, no. It doesn't particularly matter. I'm actually working it into the script because it'll be relevant. I mean, hopefully a bunch more people will pick up the game after GDQ, and we'll get to see some good little competition, and I can quietly duck out because competition gives me too much stress. But we should let them know that playing on 360 is basically hacks. Yeah. All right. So, gonna get into speedrunning mode now. Guys, gals, non-binary pals, good morning and welcome. My name is Dan Olson, aka Foldable Human, and this is Amy. 3, 2, 1, go. So, this game was released in 2012 as a downloadable title for the Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3. It is published by Alexis Numerique and developed by Vector Cell, headed by veteran game designer Paul Cassette, who you may know from the flashback games, both the 1992 original and the 2013 remake, and the seminal classic Shaq Fu, Enforcer of Justice. A bit about the plot, just to make sure you aren't too lost here. In the opening cutscene that we just skipped, our player protagonist, Lana, is rescuing the titular Amy from the nebulous Phoenix Center. As they ride the train into Silver City, Amy sketches a picture of the apocalypse, and then the end of the world starts as the train crashes into the station. This here at SGDQ is Amy's first appearance at something that isn't a worst of list. And as you may have sussed out already, the primary antagonist of this run is going to be the loading times. The run is fairly new, all things considered. Routing just started last fall with myself, Vexel, and Shiptoaster laying the groundwork, and then in the last couple months, veteran spooky game speedrunner Starwin joined us and has helped further refine the run, improving the efficiency pretty dramatically. Chapter 1 here will be a good opportunity to acclimate to the peculiarities of Amy. There's no real skips or anything in this chapter. It's pretty much going through the intended route as optimally as possible and hoping on just a tiny bit of good luck. So it's a good time to get used to a few things. First, the controls are not particularly good. Even in a casual environment, the controls are clumsy, imprecise, and frustrating, which creates a truly delightful chaos in a speedrunning environment. And second, yes, this is what the game looks like. I haven't mucked with the settings. This is just what came out the other end of the process. Because Amy as a game is incomplete. Charitably, we'll describe it as an episodic game that was canceled after the pilot episode, and less charitably, it was a chaotic production that led to a few random slices of the game being patchworked together and pushed out the door with the hopes that it would succeed well enough to finish the rest of the game. That didn't happen, however, so not only is this game a hodgepodge of loose ends and misplaced puzzle assets, it also ends with the mother of all sequel bait, but we will cross that bridge when we get to it. As for right now, we're just waiting for our friend here, Marcello, to catch up to us so that we can fail to open this door. He's going to hand us this genetic DNA cracker, and we're then going to did we remember to, took off a little too soon there, running the gun. We now, in the lower right-hand corner, have a little radar with a number of pips on it, and these are the DNA sources that we can scan to try and open the door. This is not random, so we can always run directly to the correct answer, and that roar means that the train conductor has decided to come out to play. He is a little bit of a tough fight, so we're just gonna go right on past him and escape. There is a little bit of the RNG that we were talking about earlier, that painting falling down. We got scurred by an art. There are a number of random jump scares that can happen, so in a really competitive run, time comes down to, a lot of the time can come down to luck on random jump scares and on enemy spawns and on these mastermind puzzles. In this case, luck was very much in my favor. That was a very clean answer to the puzzle. So we'll just come around, knock the brains out of this Steve here. All of the base zombies are Steve. I no longer remember why we decided to name them Steve. In reviewing old runs, it turned out that there was one particular zombie that we had named Steve, and then slowly over the weeks they just morphed into all Steves.
Amy.
So now we meet Amy, and here is going to be one of our primary mechanics that we're going to engage with through the rest of the speed run, and that is holding Amy's hand. Amy is very slow on her own, but if Lana is holding her hand, they can sprint at full speed. So anywhere where we need to get Amy to a specific place, it's going to be substantially faster if we can pull her there rather than waiting for her to catch up to us.
You did it!
Why don't we try
Bravo, Amy!
first? I know where there's a whole bunch of them. Come on, you just follow me.
All right. So this mechanic means that there are a number of sort of movement strategies in order to get through things like doors, in order to avoid losing Amy on walls, on corners, doorways, debris, vending machines. All of these are particularly dangerous to your grip. As well, on the PS3 version in particular, you can lose your grip to frame drops. If the frame rate dips low enough, they'll just let go.
Not even when I was driving the docks in Jersey.
Alright, this door is about to open. Sooner do we get away from Mrs. Jenkins than your train comes crashing into the station. And that's two spooky spooks. Now we get to shuffle sideways across the ledge. There is going to be a few of these in the game. Unfortunately, only one of them is skippable, so look forward to that in Chapter 4. Yeah, in the meantime... Oh, more bad luck. This right here is the original Steve Prime, now referred to as Super Steve, often because he is slightly more durable than your average zombie. He is a random spawn. Wow, 3 jump scares, just really pulling out all the stops. You can get through Chapter 1 with 0. Usually you'll get 1 or 2, and we just got another one. Lana will do the reaction animation once we get out of this animation, so unfortunately those don't overlap. So we still need to wait for her to recover. Oh. Facing the wrong direction. And so I think we're at 4 for 4 on those. Come on, Amy, grab my hand. All right, and off we go.
Dear God, what's happened here? Amy, stick close to me.
All right, so the chain link maze here, I'm gonna back up to grab Amy's hand, and it looks like I'm losing time, but I'm not actually. Marcello needs to get to the end of this before we can progress, so this is functionally a fixed time event, so we are substantially faster than him, so it's there is plenty of time to get through this. And actually, on hard mode, it's a little comical because the zombies that are currently chasing us are also faster than Marcello, so they will beat him to the end of the hallway. And there we go.
No door is smart enough to beat cello.
Oh, there's a frame drop. There we go. Got to get Amy's hand back, and a great speed tech right there. Skipping ladders. The designers saw fit to give us a button to just not do ladder climbing animations, which speaks to it speaks to sort of the
I'm so proud
incompleteness of the game. Like, there's something to be said about a game where even the designers feel like, hey, ladders are so tedious, we should allow players to just not do them. All right.
There are soldiers in the area. Let's see if we can get some help. You two stand back. I'll take care of this.
There we go. So we came around the corner, and Marcello starts to do this monologue, which locks us into place. However, even while Lana's controls are locked out, she is still able to swing her weapon, which lets us take the steps forward in order to get into position to get under that desk. And we're loading. We're gonna get a cutscene here. I hope you all came to love and appreciate Marcello during our time with him in Chapter 1, because he just died in that flash of white. And now would be a good time for donations. Chapter 2 here is where we're going to start to see a little bit more speed tech stuff. The main thing that we're going to be engaging with in Chapter 2 is going to be checkpoint skips. So what we'll be doing is we'll be hitting a checkpoint and then reloading the game in order to accomplish various things. The two things that we'll be doing mainly are going to be shortening load times, because reloading from checkpoint is longer than waiting for the game to load an area on its own. And the second is going to be resetting the game state into something favorable so that we can accomplish things without needing to actually accomplish them. First, though, we need to dodge this ogre, and we need a stick. So I can see the stick here, it's glowing, and then I can't see where I'm going now because I turned around, but it's cool. It's fine. We actually need to slow down. We need to slow down to go fast. If we go too fast, we'll come around the corner, and the ogre will be waiting for us. And there he is, going around the corner at the far end. So we're good. You can die if you go too fast. You'll run into the ogre, and everything will suck. So this is our second enemy type, technically our third if we count the ogre, but we'll be seeing these again where the ogre is now gone. These are our Jareds. They are slightly more advanced stage zombies, and there will be a bunch of them. In fact, at this point, Steve's become fairly uncommon, and it's mostly Jareds from here on out. So we're doing two things there. We actually we had Amy grab the blue key card, which we need to get through this door, and we grabbed a healing syringe that we're going to need to get to the end of the level without dying, because I'm bad at this game and I die a lot. So here's our first checkpoint skip. We're going to set Amy up doing her hack again, and we'll reload at checkpoint, and this one's really simple. This one is just that it is faster to reload here than it is to wait for the next part of the level to load. But we'll be doing another checkpoint reload very quickly after this. There's going to be a security room off to our left, and we're going to go into it. And actually, if you watch the wall, you get to see assets popping into existence still. So the puzzle is to lure this guard out of the room, but instead we can just hit the lock, reload, and it will solve the puzzle for us. All right. This whole section is actually just... I really, really would encourage anyone who is interested in game design to play Chapter 2 of Amy in a casual setting, because there is too much here to really comment on. Those laser trip mines that we just ran right through, for example, the actual intended solution to them is that you're supposed to walk very slowly in order to not trigger them. However, that is explained by absolutely nothing in the environment, nothing in the game manual, nothing in the game tutorials itself. It is left completely unexplained.
Such a brave girl.
And in fact, there are a number of indicators placed around the environment that suggest completely different solutions to that problem. All right, we have our DNA. Pastor John should be coming in. There he is. There's Pastor John. Unfortunately, we're going to be reloading really quick here, so you're not going to get to hear much of Pastor John's absolutely delightful, delightfully hammy speech here. So again, I would encourage you to engage with this game casually, just to... There's so much wonderful, wonderful cheese and ham and just badness in this game that we can't really touch upon in a speed run. We skip right past it, and yeah. So we're gonna leave Amy behind. We don't need her. Ideally, we don't need her at all through the rest of the level. At the end here is a... Oh, there we go. There's a Jared. We're gonna kill him. Now, killing him is actually going to trip up the soldiers that are chasing me right now.
DNA match. Access granted.
John, the scrambler in the server room is starting to show signs of wear and tear.
So
take a look at it.
Getting out of this room is something that is pretty easy to screw up, so hopefully I'm gonna get it
Cut the scrambler,
right.
and then
And yeah, there's
a scrambler
what
is a
we're
machine
waiting
with jam
for,
signals.
and we're good. All right.
Good. I'll show you.
So it's really easy to get jammed up on those soldiers, and they can kill Lana in one hit, so you actually don't want to just blow right past them. You want to shove them to interrupt their attack. So we'll come around the corner, stab ourselves with the healing syringe, just so that we can fairly safely run through to this next mastermind puzzle, which will hopefully have a good solution, and it's not too bad. And end of chapter 2. So again, now would be a good time. Now would be a good time for some donations. Alright, so coming into Chapter 3 here, our primary task is to get to the metro. It's a lot like Chapter 1 in that a huge chunk of this chapter is going to be, we're going to be doing it more or less the way that was intended. Unfortunately, unlike Chapter 1, it's a good bit more tedious because it's largely going to consist of running back and forth across this giant room that we're in. And there's a lot of small irritants in this room, so yeah. So we brought Amy, and we hit buttons too fast. So we brought Amy to that glyph because it turns out she has magic powers now and can shoot shockwaves with her mind. So this is actually a good time to talk about Amy and her. I would say coding as autistic, except it is more than just coding. It is pretty much explicit. In pre-release interviews and in promotional interviews for the game, Paul Cossette would talk about Amy, and they would explicitly describe her as nonverbal autistic. And there's a lot of unfortunate implications to this because the way that Amy is treated in the game is largely as a power-up. She is essentially our Metroidvania upgrade that allows us to pick up key cards or hit buttons that are in other rooms. And in a sort of ham-handed attempt at creating autistic awareness or autistic presence in the game, they've just recreated a number of tropes. So, for example, having Amy be nonverbal and having her be autistic, they're ultimately just clumsy attempts to disguise the fact that she has, garbage AI behavior. Her no need to hire a voice actor, and the character then doesn't need to have any personality. These are the things that game designers so often believe are the hallmarks of autism, and that framing and representation is damaging to the autistic community, to people who have spectrum autism spectrum syndromes, disorders, whatever classification. And yeah, so in a lot of ways, the claim of like, oh well, we have this autistic character is really just a cover for some really lazy game design, really lazy AI design, and really lazy character design.
They were waiting for me. Damn.
Now this is where Crystal from the couch is going to, she has a very funny anecdote about how Amy resembles all of those paintings back in the medieval ages when artists didn't know what baby faces looked like, and so just drew everyone as an adult man. All right, that was a pretty good crossing. Get Amy onto her elevator and get her back down. So now this is where we actually diverge from the game route as intended. We've left all of the zombies alive, which can sometimes go poorly, sometimes go all right. A little bit of luck. We're gonna find out together if Amy will grab my hand. It looks like we're going to be in the realm of absolute chaos, and we got a really good Amy launch there. That was some great distance on Amy. So the reason why we're backing up is because we're going to recharge Amy's shockwave power in order to bypass the next major puzzle. So this will give her 2 charges, which will allow us to break the double boards that are waiting for us, so that we don't need to solve a ladder and elevator puzzle. We can just break them from the ground and move on. But first, we're going to need to deal with the Jareds who are still alive. Hopefully, the remaining ones are not going to. They're going to be waiting for us on the stairs. Oh. Oh, they are all here. All right. Okay. So less than ideal, but yeah, we're doing fine. We're doing fine. Ideally, they just kind of stay and mingle around in this area, and you can run past them, and then they don't follow you too much. It's a little chaotic, but I mean that's kind of why we love it. I mean it's frustrating. Don't get me wrong, but frustration is part of the joy. Now, just quickly, we're gonna check Amy's power wheel to make sure that we didn't get a glitch that can. Walking through that door can just erase Amy's powers. All right, so there we go, breaking those boards.
You, Amy. You did it.
Yeah.
Wait for me, Amy. I'm not going far.
So another obstacle crossing. We're trying. Hopefully, I can't swing the camera around to check, but we're hoping that Amy has followed her commands and is going to be waiting near the door for us when we get down the other side. Also, we've had bad luck so far with getting spooked by an art, and you can see off to the lower left there is an art there that might spook us, and it has mercifully left us alone. We got past the art, and Amy did not follow commands, so she's still way over here and will need to be fetched manually. All right, we need her to recharge her powers, and we'll go close this gate behind us just to give us something to do while she does that. It's pure busy work. There's no reason to do that, but it doesn't take any longer than it takes her to do her thing, so why not, you know? Tidy up after ourselves. And for the second time in the no, come on. No, come on. Come on. There we go. Oh, her AI is glitching out a lot right now, so I can expect it to be very frustrating in this next little bit. Okay, so this is a little bit of a precise movement here. Rather than doing the actual tedious puzzle in this room, we are just going to walk across the top of this wire, and we're done. Just pull some crates out of the way so we can get Amy. Normally she will listen to our calls to get out of there, but I suspect she's not listening right now. So we'll go get her. And there's that shockwave to open that one last obstacle.
You don't have to worry about the professor anymore. You just need to get to Ellen.
So a substantial part about routing this run, a lot of the fun that we had in routing this run kind of came down to figuring out sort of where various triggers are, where various checkpoints are. So this part in particular is one where it seemed like there was so much more opportunity to cut off time, but unfortunately Amy needs to get to the ending checkpoint in order to actually end the level. So it triggers, the end of the level triggers when Amy gets there, which isn't true for all levels. So another loading screen. Now would be a good time to read donations. So chapter 4 is a lot like
Ellen,
chapter
can you
2
hear me?
in that there's a lot to
Ellen.
do, and it goes pretty quick and furiously. It's probably my favorite level in the run, my favorite chapter in the run. There's a lot to do, and it goes very fast. An ideal chapter 4 is about 4 minutes, and it just doesn't stop. So first, we're going to damage boost onto this, if we can get it right, and we didn't. So we're gonna back up and give it one more try, and we'll probably die. Yeah. So that's gonna cost us about 40 seconds. 40 seconds right there. Should have just shuffled across, but I'm okay with it because you know, we're in a light and fun setting here, and we have enough time. If this were, you know, world record attempt, that'd be bad, but we're just having a nice, fun, relaxed time here. So I'd rather show it off than
I don't think so. The train has stopped.
not. So, all right. So we're going to curve and ideally be on the right vector this time, and hit the damage zone. And oh, just not quite make it. Third time's the charm, as always. As they say, I hear that a lot. Third time's the charm. So, and there are 3 letters in Amy, and the Y in Amy is a lambda. Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Ellen.
And what direction am I facing? All right.
I don't think so. The train has stopped.
Where you are.
All right, so we're going to curve a little bit to the left and hit our mark, and there we go, onto the walkway so that we can run across it rather than slowly shuffling. Though at this point, we've lost a substantial amount of time to the reloads, but it was worth it. It was worth it. And then we just got caught on a corner. All right, we're gonna push Letterman Steve just to delay him a little bit, grab a syringe. Now, we need to be very careful about picking up this board that we don't touch. The insta-kill electricity. All right, Steve's dead. There's actually a speed tech that I haven't even mentioned at all, which is that if we are running while Lana crosses over pickups, it bypasses her pickup animation entirely. She just instantly picks up the item. So we've been using that since chapter 1, really. All right, so get to this doorway, stick a syringe in our neck, and run right on through the insta-death zone to the checkpoint. Reload. Oh, hey, Amy, where'd you come from? All right, so this is one of my favorite moments in the game. In a casual run, this moment here, this little bit by the door, is actually really hard. In my initial run, this is where I got stonewalled for quite a while, because you are expected. The game implies that what you are to do is to stand by the door and wait for Amy to open it. But if we just disregard those rules, the implied rules of the game, and run to the end of the hall here, we can just watch the zombies spawn and pick them off one by one as they slowly filter through the door. So it's great because this little moment right here is what I think really encapsulates the spirit of speedrunning, that it is a process of disregarding and reevaluating the implied rules of engagement in a game. And that's chapter 4. So now's a good time to read a few more donations. Alright, coming into chapter 5 here is where we get a really good example of this this philosophy of questioning the rules, reevaluating the rules, because there are a number of things that we are expected to do here in chapter 5, and we will do few, if any, of them. Alright, we're going to stand on this grate. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Alright. So this was a mechanic that we were supposed to learn last chapter, is that if Lana is sufficiently infected, she can crouch and stealth past all of the zombies. They won't attack her, and this enables us to bypass virtually every puzzle in this level. This is actually a giant insta-kill zone. If any of these zombies spot Lana, they don't run up and attack her. It just instantly game overs. So in an attempt at forcing you into utilizing all of Amy's powers to get around everything, so you need to use her silence bubble, a power that we have routed out of the run entirely, in order to get over obstacles. You need to use her shockwave power to distract zombies, to move them around, and it's a process of gradually working Amy from one end of this giant puzzle complex to the other, and we can instead disregard those rules entirely and just grab this key card and reload from checkpoint. Oh, hey, Amy, where did you come from? Oh, lost her on the door. Alright, we got her back. This is fortunately a nice wide door. Alright, so a little, this part I'm not so good at. I might talk a little less here just because there's a concentration involved in something that I'm still a little bit finicky at. So what we've got to do is we've got to get in and out of the thing.
I know they're scary, but I'm going to get you to the hospital. You'll be safe there. I promise.
All right, that actually went pretty flawlessly, and then we got a jump scare. So that all looked kind of weird and peculiar, because what we're actually doing is we're bypassing an insta-kill trigger that guard has. If you don't get into the locker, then the guard will instantly kill Lana the moment that she goes into that room, regardless of how far away the guard is. He just teleports and kills her. But if you get into the locker, it disables that trigger. So it's just a process of very quickly executing all of those and then throwing Amy off of the catwalk so that you don't need to otherwise get her down off of the elevator or through any other means. And of course, this has all led into a mandatory sewer level, some classic video game action there with the mandatory sewer level. So we have our third and final genetic lock of the game, and we're gonna come on, Amy, where are you? There we go. We need Amy for this next little bit, and by need her, I mean we don't need her at all. I know I just said that, but I lied. All I wanted was Amy's lantern so that I could see this bridge. So these zombies are coming to give us a very poor time. Fortunately, they're polite and will wait for us to finish using that, and I lost Amy and I lost the light. Okay, he's all right. Good luck, Amy, with those zombies. She's a tough girl. She can handle herself. Because she's not needed to trigger the end of that level. And now would be a good time for our last little bit of donations. So moving into chapter 6, we're actually approaching time here. It's going to be a very short chapter. There's not much here, just the boss and the puzzle that goes along with him, and there he is, coming to visit us. So the puzzle here on chapter 6 is actually, I think, fairly well designed. It's interesting, it's engaging. I mean, there's some problems with it. It could use some revision, but you know, you can see what they were going for, and even on hard mode, it's particularly engaging. And now's a good time to read a quote from Paul Cassette. He said in the pre-release stuff, he was describing the game and saying that Lana is a normal woman set in a very hostile environment. It wouldn't make sense to see her just run onto an enemy and hit him frenetically. So what we're going to do is we're going to if I can get the timing right. If I can get the timing right. No, okay. I'm gonna... I panicked. No, I panicked. There we go. And time.
I got Amy to the doctor, and for the first time I had the feeling that we weren't alone. If anyone could find out what Professor Raymond had been doing to Amy, Ellen could. And knowing what was wrong was halfway to making her better. Whatever he's looking for, he was willing to destroy a town to discover it. I had kept my promise to a little girl. She was in good hands now.
That was a... Alright, so we lost 80 seconds. We lost 80 seconds on chapter 4 to the 2 deaths. So that was, if there had been no deaths, that would have been a 4120. 4120. But still, 4250. 4250. 42, I mean, I will take 4250. Don't get me wrong. I will take 4250. But...
Hello, ladies. It looks like you could use some divine intervention.
I think it was actually like 48 or 49. Oh, I'm shaking. I'm shaking. All right. So that takes it's gonna need some practice. But I think I need to. Oh. I need to practice chapter 6 specifically because the tension there ramps up so much. I started choking. I started choking. The door opened and but I got it. But I managed to get there. The timing up to the door opening was like great, but then oh. And then I just Okay. All right. I'm gonna take a sip and just calm down a second, and then respond to a few of the notes from read the notes from chat. Okay. All right. The timing of the bot. Yeah. Okay. Do you have... Okay, I think that you focusing on the script made you not get in your head when things went wrong. Yes. Yes. I mean, that's what practice is for. And it's telling me very clearly that I need to do focused practice on the ending, on chapter 6, which is actually really easy to do because it's nice and short. And you can, I can go straight to it. And because we're doing like, chat donations, or we're doing like the donations, it's like, okay, commentary doesn't start until I'm in the game and have control. So that's actually a really easy thing to practice. And in fact, I'm going to spend some time right now just purely practicing fighting Willem with the new motion. I know we did it a bit at the end of last week's stream, but then with getting the 50 Shades video out, I just didn't have any real time. Like, now is kind of when I'm starting to really like bore into this practice. So I didn't have any time on my own to practice that attack. So there was two things going on. One, I was doing a lot that's kind of new simultaneously. Like, I was doing the script and I was doing an attack pattern that I'm still not 100% comfortable with. So yeah, having those two stacking up on top of each other was definitely, it was a lot. But, with practice, just practice, get there. Do I have the whole script memorized? No, not in the slightest. Long way to go with it still. There's a bunch of stuff that needs to be worked out. I'm gonna use, like, this is now gonna be the next template that I'm gonna go through. You gave context. So Charming Viking says you gave context for naming the Steves but not the Jarretts. Was that purposeful? No, I think that's really just a flaw in the script as it is now. I'm debating between either adding the context for, like, right now in this moment, I'm debating just cutting the context entirely, because I don't know if it's that interesting or good. Like, is it really that engaging? I think there's more engaging stuff that I could write for that. Ship Toaster, short commentary note: one ledge is skippable, chapter 4 ledge run, but the other two are routed out. Well, so there's 3 ledges in the game. So there's chapter 1 over the fire pit, there's chapter 3 over the top of the oh wait, no, there's 2 in chapter 3, and then there's the one in chapter 4 that's being routed out, but the one at the beginning of chapter 4 is skippable. So there's 4 ledges in the run. 3 of them are mandatory as per the run. Like, that was kind of what I was trying to say in my head. I realized that was probably not clear, so that's a good note. Whether or not, I mean, I guess the ledges as a whole, I don't know if that's even really interesting as a subject. So maybe cut those. That's another little bit that could probably be cut and replaced with something, more interesting. Just more better. Establishing the elevator on the last chapter is the final boss, and also saying prepare for time would be good. Yeah, I've got that in I've got that in like the bullet point script. I panicked. Anything on chapter 6 right now, like, that was a very sort of rough look at what chapter 6 is supposed to be like. I wasn't very clear, so it was like, okay, we're coming on to the final boss. It's like, okay, yeah, make sure that the language is unambiguous. It's like, we're coming on to the final boss, prepare for time. And then time out that quote so that I was so worried about trying to get the quote to end as the door opened that, yeah. Vex pointed out in Chapter 3, you can use the new battle mechanics on the Jareds too. Yes, and I tried. I just did a very poor job at it. I didn't say it at the time. I didn't want to say anything at the time, but I was trying. And if you look at, you can see that I'm kind of trying and just doing a really poor job at it. I really need to practice it because I panicked a little bit. Then the mostly empty power wheel, that's a thing. I had that kind, you could see the point. I just need to do a better job at developing it back in Chapter 1. So talking about a hodgepodge of loose ends and misplaced puzzle assets. So I want to make sure that I find points in the flow to specifically mention those. The problem with the power wheel, like, I really want to mention the power wheel because it's such a good example, but we blow past it so fast that I need to find the right time to mention it. I think the right time is going to be Chapter 3, kind of once we're through the door going into the back half of Chapter 3. That's kind of where I want to put that. Yeah, I think the ledge thing, the ledge thing probably really only needs to come up in Chapter 4. That it's like we're doing a damage boost to bypass this ledge, and yeah, so and then there's more. I still need to go through and really beef up a lot more of the thesis. So the thesis statement that we're working off of is speedrunning is a process of challenging implicit rules. So that is kind of what I want to be like the meat of the run commentary. And so I'm looking for as many opportunities throughout the script to really pull back to that central point, or if we've got dead time where I'm just kind of like narrating what we're doing and what we're doing is not particular, like, and if what we're doing is something that doesn't really need contextualization, then I would rather replace that narration with actual sort of meaty commentary. So yeah, I do also, I mean, a couple other things that I did mention them. I just mentioned them very poorly, so that I'll be playing the PlayStation 3 version, even though between submission and now we discovered that the Xbox version is 4 minutes faster due to cutting load times. So that's a point that I think is interesting to mention. I think it was in there. I just don't think it was terribly clear. I don't remember exactly what I said, but so yeah. And then yeah. I'm still kind of vibrating a little bit. I'm gonna go grab water really quick, and then do some chapter 6 practice, like just grill that attack pattern for a bit here. So yeah, I'll be right back with water. All right, all right. Actually, wait. No, I already have a game loaded. I can just, yes, cancel load operation. Just continue. Chapter 6. My sympathetic adrenaline response is still up, so I'm not surprised you were vibrating. Yeah, oh man. Oh, and that was just a taste. That was just a taste of things to come. Huh. Oof. All right. I'm gonna hide the timer since it's not gonna be relevant to this. So, oh, and night ship. Oh, is Vex also good night, Vex? No, just ship. Just ship. Oh man. I have a lot of experience. I have a lot of experience with public performance, and I still get stage fright every time. I have Shaw, that other Canadian. I've got Shaw. All right.
Hurry, Edie. He's coming.
I'm not gonna worry. I'm not gonna worry about the commentary. We're just gonna focus on. Just gonna. Come on, there we go. There we go. Issues with disconnecting today. No, today's been fine. Or at least in my neighborhood. Too fast. Ooh. That was all right. That was all right. That was all right.
He's coming.
I mean, that could be better. That was good. That was actually probably the best I've done it so far. But that could be better. Really, the main thing. I mean, I guess part of also what I'm criticizing in here about my technique is how comfortable I feel with it. All right, so it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier if the door closes. It's a lot easier if the door closes. All right. No, so in order for the door to close, so we can't manually close the door. In order for the door to close, Lana and Willem need to get all the way to the back of the elevator, and Amy needs to be standing not near the door. So basically the elevator's door trigger brush zone thing needs to be really, needs to be clear. There we go. Nope. Nope. Come on. Okay, getting there. You can be, I need to be even faster with the square. So I'm hitting the dodge, I'm hitting circle at the right time. But I'm being a little bit gun shy with the process as a whole. It's like I can tighten it up. I can tighten it up just a little more. All right, Amy, no, I need you to back off just a bit. I should probably actually just leave you at the other elevator, but come on. No, come on. Hit him. No, come on, push him. Oh.
Hurry, Amy. He's coming.
No, Amy, stop following me. I need you to stand, right here. I need you to stand, right there, so that you're in range to heal me, but... Nice. Okay. All right. All right. All right. I found it. I found it. So, what works for me? All right. What works for me?
Hurry, Amy. He's coming.
All right. What works for me is so it's treating them as basically one motion. So all I'm doing is I'm just taking my thumb and just dragging it from circle to square, just straight across. So not two presses, just a swipe, basically. And as long as I don't. Come on, give him a shove. Okay. I mean, that time I
Hurry, Amy. He's coming.
that was a weird number of dodges in a row. Like, I think there was like 6 in a row there. Oh. And then I hit square. And then I canceled myself. Oh, I did that to myself. I canceled myself out like 3 times in a row. Didn't actually swing. Did it too fast. All right. Just keep going. It's fun when you can see it. You can see your mistake happening in slow motion. You're like, oh no, I'm making a mistake. I'm still making the mistake. There it is. All right. No, come on. So I'm trying a two-finger thing since
He's coming.
it was like, all right, the slide was working and then the slide stopped working. The slide started going less well. So I'm trying a two-finger thing. Alright. Give Lana a moment to recover whatever stamina I just burnt on swinging. Alright. Come on. All right.
Hurry, Amy. He's coming.
Yeah, sometimes I'll admit I have actually no real solid idea how, because yeah, sometimes swinging recovers stamina. Like we can see this on chapter 1, where it'll be like Lana will be jogging and you'll get into a fight with a Steve, and then she'll come out of the fight with more stamina than she had going in. But like dodging, I think dodging uses stamina sometimes. I don't know. It's like really, really hard to parse. And here, one sec, actually. All right. Let's get this back on track. Come on. Get into your hole. Nah, and then. Come on. No. Turn around. Come on. No. Oh, yeah, that one. I mean, a lot went wrong there. There was a hedgehog down by my feet. I will assume that at GDQ a hedgehog is not going to scuttle up and start chewing on my slipper. That feels like an unlikely distraction. No, turn around. Come on. No, she's gonna get hit. No. Okay. I need to recover, because what if... There we go. All right. Okay.
Hurry, Amy. He's coming.
Nice. Okay. All right. Okay. My hand is starting to hurt. So I'm gonna say that's good. That's enough. That's enough of that for right now. And I can practice that offline, since now I'm just kind of like sitting here saying nothing and just beating the end boss, just beating the boss with a crowbar. So it's 25 hits. It's 25 hits. He dodges about well, I've got it. I'm gonna go through that. I'm gonna go through, like, because I now have that's a pretty decent amount of footage right there, all condensed. But my gut was that he dodges about between a quarter and a third of the time. But that might be, I mean, that's kind of like gut, and you shouldn't trust your gut when it comes to frequency of, like, event frequency. So I'm gonna go through all that footage later and actually, like, count it, that it's like how many dodges to how many swings. Yeah, so I'll have a better answer for that in the future, because it'll help to know, like, it's like, okay, approximately how many times is he going to dodge. If you need 25 swings, if you need 25 hits, that's going to take 35 swings, less, more. So figure that out, because knowledge is power. So Starwin says it's pure RNG. Well, I mean, yeah, but yeah. I wonder, actually, is it just a coin toss? Is it just a coin toss per swing? I wonder how it works. Like, what's the priority order in the logic? What is it? What's its decision-making process in dodging? Also, there's the possibility of missing, which is bad. It's not good. There's a couple times actually where I've done a few attempts where Lana wound up just like off axis a little bit, so she kept swinging and like hitting the elevator wall. Oh, that sucked. That was frustrating. But no, we'll go through. I'll go through, figure it out, see if I can come up with some numbers just to help visualize. Like, you know, it's good. I think it's good to be able to visualize the spread. You know, it's like, okay, how many swings is it going to take, kind of on average? How often is he going to dodge? You know, that, because there. I mean, that said, you can still get, like, there's still always the possibility of bad luck, like that one run earlier where it was like 6 straight dodges. So, yeah. Have you played this enough to go, hey, I recognize that wall texture? I don't know. I don't really look at the walls. I don't know if I process it like that. I don't know what's going. Also, I don't know what's going on in chat. What is going on with chat? Wait a minute. What did I just do? Ran through the mine in chapter 3. Yeah, that can happen sometimes. Like just by random chance every now and then. Also, actually, in chapter 3, I'm liking my current route. I'm liking my current route through the through the mines. I'm having a lot more luck with it, particularly on the way back. Like the last few times I've done the return trip on chapter 3, I haven't got shocked at all. So going left and then sticking to the left-hand side seems to so like left on return. I should just draw this crap out at some point, and give it proper names. But yeah, brain scrambled. Brain definitely scrambled. I had a good evening. I had a good night. This was a lot of fun. There's a new personal best, 4250. Cut off a decent amount of time. I would also, hey everybody, hey. No. Let's all. All right. I want everybody to just hold on for a second and appreciate that since my first run, I have now cut off an entire hour. I have now cut off an entire hour from my first attempted run, because it was an hour 42. And so, high five. From last fall to now, we have cut an entire hour. We have cut off an entire hour. High five. Thanks again so much for coming out, and I hope that this is fun. Thanks, Vex and TJ, for modding. Thanks, Vex and Starwin, for your run input and your work at continually improving it and showing me up and you know, just really making me look bad. Thank you for making me look bad. You two you're great. I love you. And I'm really looking forward to this. thank you for the feedback on the script. I'm gonna keep working at it, gonna keep practicing it and improving it. We have 3 more. Wow, we only have 3 more nights of speedrun learning curve before SGDQ. So 3 more of these big runs. I'm going to start doing a lot more offline practice, and I'll try to remember to record them so that if I do actually set a really good time, then I'll be able to prove that instead of just being like, oh man, it went great and I have no proof. So yeah. If anyone is interested in attending GDQ, they are currently below registration cap, so you can register right now. That is a physical possibility, but you would then also need to get a hotel. So, can we at some point see your PB times curve? I actually posted it. I posted it on Twitter, but I will update that now with these last couple PBs. So yeah, and gonna call it at that. I know I keep going around in circles, so just gonna say call it at that. Thank you again, everybody. I'll hang out and chat for a bit, but I'm gonna shut the stream off in 3, 2, 1.